Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? With the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, Conrad, what's going on, buddy? How you doing, buddy?
Oh, man, never better. My studio computer has shit the bed on me. It
Really?
was born in May of 2023, and now it's reached its untimely demise. So I found myself at Walmart this morning
Mm.
buying a laptop. When was the last time you went to a Walmart before 7 in the morning, Tony?
I don't think I've ever been to Walmart before 7 in the morning. I didn't know they were open that early. Is that a 24-hour Walmart?
I don't think there's a lot of 24-hour Walmarts post-pandemic, but I did beat the electronics guy in. So I had that going for me.
Yeah.
And now I'm not in my studio, of course. So bear with us if we sound and look a little different today. But I'm pretty fired up about today's episode, Tony, because, well, it's a lot of fun. It's an episode of Monday Night Raw you've never seen before. We're getting in our Wayback Machine going to season 10, episode 10. Won't you join us? Come on in. The water's fine. We're going to have some fun today against Tony's goddamn will. We're gonna force him into having a happy day. We're gonna have a good time today. And here's the thing I'm really excited about as folks are listening to this, Tony. So excited. I'm gonna crack a can. It's Grand Slam week, baby. Collision, Dynamite, tickets are on sale now. Make your last minute purchase. Go see Tony in person tonight at the Arthur Ashe Stadium. What a historic venue. I still can't believe that there's wrestling matches happening in there. And we actually just talked to Jeff Jarrett about that last night as we're recording this. What a cool opportunity this is. Like if you're a sports junkie like Double J is, this is a real treat to see wrestling in Arthur Ashe. And it's a doubleheader, man. It's like a pay-per-view level card, but on free TV tonight. And then, of course, again on Saturday night, a doubleheader, Dynamite and Collision. How pumped are you for Arthur Ashe, man?
How about Jeff Jarrett wrestling against Hangman Adam Page? You
Not
bet.
just wrestling against him, a
Yeah.
lumberjack strap match.
Yeah.
I mean, why would I just can't imagine that Jeff Jarrett is actually looking forward to this, but he says he is. Like I saw him yesterday. He's still got a mouse over his eye from some live rounds from Hangman Adam Page. And I have it on good authority that old Double J, the last outlaw, he's bringing his receipt book to Arthur Ashe. This should be a good time.
Came in the ring and protected Tony Schiavone. Thank you very much.
We got a big card, of course, as a part of this program. I hope that you'll check it out. How about Nigel McGuinness stepping between the ropes against Bryan Danielson, a match that many of us thought we would never see. And not only is it happening, it's happening at Arthur Ashe, and Danielson's the champ. Speaking of champs, Will Ospreay is going to be teaming with Kyle Fletcher to take on the Young Bucks. What an incredible tag team affair that's going to be. I know they're going to just absolutely tear it up. It's happening tonight as you're listening to this on Dynamite. Tune in to TBS. You don't want to miss this. And how about another spectacle? Darby Allin? John Moxley? My goodness. I mean, I don't know what to expect, but I bet there's going to be a lot of violence, Tony.
You're looking, and if you're watching us on YouTube right now, you're looking at a graphic of two of my favorite guys in all of wrestling because of what they bring to the ring. John Moxley is just John Moxley. I hate to make this comparison, but I'm going to, and I've said it. I even said it back when we first started. John Moxley is probably the closest thing to a Stone Cold Steve Austin that we have in AEW. And just doesn't give a shit type guy. And Darby Allin is the same way. I've never seen. I mean, Darby's the type of guy. Wouldn't you agree that every match he wrestles, you think it's his last because of the crazy shit that he does?
I think he wrestles a style where he knows that eventually he is going to have his last match, and he wants to make sure that he's pulling out all the stops every single time, and that's what makes him so unique. I just want to remind everybody, this is a guy who earlier this year in New York City got hit by a goddamn bus. So I'm not too concerned about what John Moxley's bringing, because if Darby ain't going to put over a bus, He ain't going to put over John Moxley. A lot of violence on deck. It's a big show. If you haven't already, make plans to join us. If you can't be there live in person, tune in tonight on TBS. It's going to be a who's who, man. A lot of really, really fun matches. And we got some fun matches to watch here, Tony. This is a Monday Night Raw from Season 10, Episode 10. And from what I understand, you've never...
No, of course, 2002, I wasn't watching wrestling at all. Wow, 2002. I'm trying to think what I was doing in 2002.
Whacking off a fair amount.
Well, that's a daily thing, but I was thinking about what I was doing professionally. I guess I was working for, I was working for the Braves Network is what I was doing on a part-time basis, and WSB Radio. So I was doing Braves baseball back then. That's what I was doing, kind of.
Well, here's what we're going to be doing. We're taking a look at an episode of Monday Night Raw from March 11th from the Joe Louis Arena. It's a hot crowd, and it's a show that was described as being dog shit, Tony. And I know that you love dog shit shows.
Yeah.
If there's one thing all of our listeners here on What Happened When know, it's that Tony Schiavone knows dog shit.
Yes,
literally,
right.
Figuratively. He loves it. And we've got a big heaping helping of it for him today. Tony, do we have a special countdown today, or do you just want to use your mouth and hands?
I'm going to use my mouth and hands. We are out of countdowns. No one has sent us one. And my AI app is run out of good countdowns to use.
So without further ado, here's a very sleepy, tired, and dejected Tony Schiavone giving us a countdown for Season 10, Episode 10 of Monday Night Raw.
Stand by. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play.
There we go.
Thank you.
Signature open, up and going.
Oh.
Tony, I don't know if you saw or if you even remember, if you give a shit.
I don't.
But as folks are listening to this, the Vince McMahon documentary is coming out today. Do you plan to watch any of the Vince McMahon documentary on Netflix?
I do not. Because of Bill Simmons.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Gets my fat
Did you
ass.
see that?
Gets my sleepy fat ass.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Did you see the statement that Vince McMahon put out yesterday?
The statement I did not. Do you have it?
He put us. I do, and
Okay.
actually, I'd like for you to read it for everybody here, Tony.
I don't regret participating in this Netflix documentary. The producers had an opportunity to tell an objective story about my life and the incredible business I built, which were equally filled with excitement, drama, fun, and a fair amount of controversy and life lessons. Unfortunately, based on the earlier partial cut, I've seen this doc fall short and takes the predictable path of conflating the Mr. McMahon character with my true self. Vince, the title, and promos alone make that evident. Oh my God. He goes on. A lot of misrepresented or left out entirely in an effort to leave viewers intentionally confused, he continued. The producers used typical editing tricks with out-of-context footage and dated sound bites, etc., to distort the viewer's perception and support a deceptive narrative in an attempt to further their misleading account. The producers use a lawsuit based on an affair I ended as evidence that I am, in fact, Mr. McMahon. I hope the viewer will keep an open mind and remember that there are two sides to every story. Yeah,
we'll
do
that statement there.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll keep an open mind. You got it, brother. Our mind is open.
I was listening to Dave Meltzer, and he was saying, hey, you know what? This actually might have been a bad idea. Maybe Vince's tweet actually brings more attention to the documentary.
Of course it does.
And I wondered, if you found yourself being Vince McMahon, and I know you're thankful that you're not, but if you were, would you have tried to quote unquote get out in front of this? Which I think is a phrase that the Clintons used way back when. Would you try to get out in front of the controversy and address it like this, or would you have just no sell it like we've seen Vince do a lot?
Well, first of all, if I, as you said, found myself as Vince McMahon, wake up in the morning and say, "Oh my God, Lois, look, I'm Vince McMahon. I've just found myself as Vince McMahon this morning." If I was Vince McMahon, and had all that money, what I'd do? I would just completely disappear. Take your money and go buy a yacht in the Caribbean. Okay, and stay there. What are we doing here? It's over. Okay, you won. You got all the money. You got all the fame. You had a great life. Now just relax and enjoy it. Stay away from everything. That's what I would do. I would completely disappear.
Well, he has, hasn't he?
Apparently not.
Well, that's the first tweet in 18 months. You're saying you would just never tweet again, just fade away forever.
I would fade away from public life forever. What's he trying to accomplish? I don't know what he's trying to accomplish here. Is he trying to accomplish trying to clear up his name, which is never going to happen? Just enjoy life.
You just acknowledge that you're going to have a tainted legacy forever and ever. Amen.
Yeah, who cares? Look, you're going to be, as all of us will be, one day dead, and it won't matter fuck all.
Wow, okay. One day you'll be dead, and it won't matter fuck all.
It won't.
I think we're going to make that a shirt over at LoisRules.com.
We got this, some pretty damn good talent beginning this program here.
You want to talk about a star-studded opening match.
Mm-hmm.
William Regal, Rob Van Dam, the Hardy Boys, and the Dudley Boys all in the same ring at the same time. Mike Chioda's your referee. This is a hot open for a Monday Night Raw here.
And Regal walked in with a belt. Was he the Intercontinental Champion at this time?
I didn't see it right there. I would guess maybe the European Champion. But...
the European Champion. Got it. Right.
It's RVD and the Hardys, though. What a fun tag team that is, taking on Dudley's and Regal.
Boy, Jeff Hardy back in the day was something else, wasn't he? Jeez.
Dude, just money. Dripping money.
Yeah, just... Well,
isn't that a fun history, too? Like, when you think about great tag team feuds, Hardy's and the Dudleys got to be right near the top of the list. I mean, those guys have had matches together for over 25 years now.
Yep. Just spectacular. And look at I guess the hazy look, if you're watching the video with us, the hazy look is because of all the pyro.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too, because I feel the same way as you do that it's pyro, but I'm wondering, is that really a net gain? Do we like this smoky look?
No,
for the entire arena in exchange for a couple seconds of pyro? Like, it feels like a bad trade-off to me.
I think pyro is way overused.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, we've cut back on it on AEW, which I'm in favor of. I don't think it, maybe the big shows, but I don't think it adds anything. I don't. Those concussion bombs, boom, boom. What the fuck?
Yeah, when it's every week, I don't think it adds anything. But, I do think when they have a stadium show and you see a bunch of pyro on the outside of the building, like that adds something. I could see that. Yeah,
like pyro at Wembley, right?
Yes.
Yes. But no, pyro's... You know what? Leave the fireworks for the 4th of fucking July.
Does any of your dogs get scared of fireworks?
Yeah, Kirby does, bless her heart.
Does she also get scared when you fart?
Yep.
Yeah.
She also...
I was thinking, because I've heard your farts, and your farts sound remarkably like a Roman candle.
Yeah, I know it does. Yeah, explosions. And not only that, a lot of times she's afraid of the phone when it rings too. She's, they found her in the wild in Anniston, Alabama. So
What?
yeah, they sure did, just running around.
Eric Jones is with us here live, part of our live studio audience from patreon.com/WHW Monday. And he says, Arena Pyro is dumb.
Yeah.
You go deaf and it stinks like sulfur for 30 minutes and makes the room smoky.
I agree with you, Eric. Good job.
Josh Henney's with us, and he says, hey, man, I get scared when Tony farts all the way here in Nebraska.
Wow. I'll burn down some corn. That's what I'll do.
Bobby's with us, and he says, Tony and Conrad, how is Vince able to make this statement with pending litigation? Well, I don't think he addressed anything in particular, Bobby.
Yeah.
He didn't address any sort of allegations one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he just made a pretty innocuous statement. The pending litigation, though, is something we haven't talked a lot about here on the program. The rumor and innuendo, Tony, is that the feds back in May asked the accused in the civil lawsuit from January to give them 6 months to build a federal case.
Mm-hmm.
And so that 6 months, as I understand it, allegedly, would be finishing up in November. Do you think there's a chance we see Vince McMahon face federal charges by the end of the year?
It's hard for me to say. I don't know.
I mean, it's interesting to even think like, I don't mean for this to sound maybe the way it does, so I apologize for not having the right words here. But what specifically are they going to pursue? Because we know that there's been, negative stories and negative rumors around for decades, but what angle will they take? And it's funny that we're watching here this episode of Monday Night Raw from season 10, episode 10, and we're seeing a late night meeting with Vince McMahon at the WWE HQ, and there he is staring at the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, which is hilarious. Here's the recap. This started a show-long skit of the WWF Board of Directors meeting with Vince on one side of the table and Flair on the other. Vince played heel attorney, building a case that Flair had embarrassed the company with his behavior and would kill the company, and asked for the board to give him full control. Really telling as they were showing this meeting to determine the future of the company, and the crowd live paid no attention to the angle and just wanted Vince so they could to pause on tape so they could chant what? As bad as our legal system is, it blows away the WWF Board of Directors. Flair, total babyface, never got to speak and defend himself until after he was stripped of power for refusing to cancel his Mania match with Undertaker. Vince, how many weeks ago, was vowing to inject a poison to kill the company, so the board voted full power at the end of the show. It must make the audience at home feel real good about the company to see the board of directors come across as slightly dumber than the Simpson jury. So we're doing a board of directors meeting here. I do wonder who some of these names are. We see Linda's in there. We know Rick's in there. We know Vince is in there. Some of the other folks, though, any chance you recognize any of these people from your days in WWE?
So far, no. And Vince is walking down as I'm looking at it right now. I recognize, no, I don't recognize any of them. I just wonder if they are. No, I don't. I'm sorry, I don't.
Well, something I recognized is a big, cool announcement that's happening. I know you're pumped up, Tony. Whenever there's major wrestling in Atlanta, you always attend, and I know there's no chance you'll miss Bad Blood, the WWE pay-per-view coming to Atlanta in just a couple of weeks. I'm sure you're going to make sure that you've got front row tickets for that. We're going to see you across from the hard cam holding up a Lois Rules sign. I know I can count on seeing you there. But I wanted to give you a heads up. I don't know that you saw this, but week one of the college football season, a band played Cody Rhodes' theme song, and they're actually going to be playing him to the ring there in Atlanta, a band playing a theme song. Not like we went out and hired a band, but they were doing it on their own, and now they're going to get to do it at Bad Blood. I thought that was pretty cool, and I wanted you to be able to take a listen. How about that, man? I mean, what a cool deal. I was really happy to see, those cats come together and be able to do this. And now they're going to get to do it for WWE. It's got to be a cool opportunity for those young folks. But a band, I thought you might dig that, man. How about that? A college band playing a guy to the ring. That's pretty fun. That feels like a throwback. Like, how did Ric Flair or Dusty Rhodes never do that in Crockett, right?
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. What school was that? Do you remember?
Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Super cool. And, I know you're a big fan of Muzak's. And speaking of Muzak's, we're going to have a little bit of music later in this program. I
Oh,
have it on good authority that
brother.
people are really liking, since you're not game to do Tony Reed's rap anymore. They've
Yeah.
been liking listening to Big Daddy Mark. Have you seen that guy? He's blowing up, man. People really dig what we're doing on the show here and highlighting Big Daddy Mark.
The cat's got a very good voice, doesn't he?
He does, man.
A very good falsetto voice. He could have been
I
the
don't
lead. He could have been the lead singer of the Stylistics back in the 70s.
All right, guys, let's run a timeout right now. I am pumped. The games are back. It is a great time to download PrizePicks. They're America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps, on PrizePicks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and then just watch the winnings roll in. And I got to tell you, I first learned about PrizePicks from my cousins. They're a few years younger than me. Okay, a lot younger than me. They're in their 20s. And dude, they were both sporting PrizePicks t-shirts on separate occasions. And I'm like, dude, what's going on? They smartened me up. It's so much fun. It's like a family thing now. And here's the deal. They make it so easy. Like, check this out. Let's say Caleb Williams passed for 1 yard. Well, you get a win on PrizePicks every week in September. That's right. Only 1 yard gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September. That's 4 weeks of free dubs. Don't miss this deal on PrizePicks because it's gone when September ends. And you can win up to 100 extra money on PrizePicks with as little as just 4 correct picks. PrizePicks is the best way to get in on action in most states like California, Texas, even Georgia. And you get to play along Drewski, Joe Budden, and even the MMA champ Sugar Sean O'Malley. Just take a look at the community plays under the promos tab on the app, and you'll see who some of the biggest names in the land are picking from their PrizePicks community each week. PrizePicks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy so that your lineups stay in even if one of your players gets injured. If your player leaves in the first half and doesn't return, well, PrizePicks, your picks are still live. How about that? PrizePicks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. You see, when my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. PrizePicks also invented the flex play, meaning you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Guys, this is fun, and it's just fun to chat with guys around the office or your real life circle of friends. And that's what's happened to me because, boy, we're all talking trash about Joe Burrow right now, or at least me and Jeff are. The stat line right now is 255.5 passing yards. And all you got to do is say, do you think he'll get more than that or less than that? Here's a little spoiler. Me and Double J think he's getting less than that. Sorry, Chris. I'm a big fan of this. It's so easy to do. I mean, that's it. Do you think Joe Burrow's going to get more or less than 255 yards passing? That's all you got to do. PrizePicks makes it super easy. Just go take a look. You're going to love it. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use our code WHW. And man, you get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code WHW on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play just $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks. Run your game.
What do you think, if you had to guess, what do you think Kurt Angle's talking about right now as he's in the mid-ring cutting a promo?
I have no idea, but my God, take a look at the signs. Bull, motherfucking bull, motherfucking bull, motherfucking shit. It looked like what he was saying, mouthing right there. Let me take another breath. I said, bull, motherfucking shit. Bullshit. I said, bull motherfucking shit. You know, his son, Cody.
Oh, the best.
Is a pretty cool son of a bitch, isn't he?
The coolest. The coolest.
He like, when he sees me, he said, hey, to this day, he says, hey, you said my mom was an evil bitch. I said, well, Cody, you said my mom was an evil bitch. And she'll say, shut up, Cody. We're talking about dogs here. Because, you know, she and I like to talk about pets all the time. And I told Karen, who, by the way, is having a birthday coming up very soon.
Yeah.
Told Karen I was going to get her a couple of Chihuahua puppies for her birthday.
I'm sure that Jeff Jarrett will hug your neck when you do that.
And Jeff told me, he said, Schiavone, you ever had your ass beaten in front of everybody backstage? I said, don't think I have. He said, well, it's coming. Don't you dare bring her a dog for her birthday. So,
I mean, Karen, I think you got to do it now just because.
Karen and I have a very good relationship in that we talk about animals all the time because she loves dogs. And take a look. How can you not love dogs? Take a look at this. Look over here. They got 2 puppies. Look at him. He's sweet.
Now that jobber on the left right there, is that Kirby?
Kirby, yeah. Kirby's got there, and that's Scout.
That's Scout. Yeah.
Hey, Scout, he's a sweetheart.
Brooke McGaw's with us here and wants to know any update on Tony getting a Chihuahua.
Yeah, I have I've been texting back and forth, emailing back and forth with a an animal rescue service. It's called the Motley Zoo, and I may be going out west soon to pick up a dog.
What does out west mean?
Well, it's either Idaho or Washington, I think.
You know, they got homeless dogs right there in your backyard. You don't have to have to go west, young man.
I know, but why not?
Hey, speaking of why not, we got Kurt Angle in the ring, and he was telling fans, "You better stop chanting. You suck at me." And here comes Booker T. Eventually, Edge is going to come out, and Edge is going to say that Booker T is the dumbest man in the history of professional wrestling. And they're actually going to play clips of when he was on the Weakest Link and he got his answers wrong. And Meltzer's going to say, boy, that might actually be hitting a little too close to home. It does make me laugh, though, because I would have loved to have seen on WCW back in the day, y'all telling each other, well, you're stupid. You didn't get nothing right on Family Feud. How great would that have been?
That would have been great.
I mean, the idea we're going to do promos about the freaking Family Feud is hilarious. I'm glad we got to see stupid ass Kirby there. I know that Kirby is excited about this Saturday because he gets to take a trip to Tuscaloosa and get his ass beat in front of a live audience. Probably the biggest rating of the year in college football, I would guess, as they're going to come do the job for Alabama. Georgia's coming in a 2.5-point favorite on the road. What do you expect to see from Kirby and your hapless Bulldogs?
Here's what I expect to see. I expect that it'll be Saturday, and I will be out of town.
Why?
I'm going to a wedding on Saturday.
Wait.
Yeah.
What the fuck did you just say? You're going to a wedding?
Yeah, on Saturday.
First of all, Tony Schiavone doesn't attend weddings. Yeah. And secondly, he damn sure doesn't do it during fucking football season. I know this from firsthand experience.
Well, Tony's not working football anymore. Okay. So Tony don't give a shit. How's that sound?
Who's getting married? Who's worthy enough to have you appear at their wedding? Who's worthy?
It's one of our family members.
Oh, okay. Well, that counts.
Yeah.
You don't want to say who? Is it a secret? Do they have multiple wives?
Yeah, it's a secret. I don't want to say it. I don't say anything. But yeah, it's one of our family members. So, and you know what, Conrad? To be honest with you, I don't give fuck all about college football anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say you didn't give fuck all about weddings because I knew you didn't care about that.
Well, yeah, that also, but I just don't. As a matter of fact, I'm not so sure, even back when I was working it, that I really cared that much about it. I cared about having a good broadcast. That was it.
Coach Rosie is fucking murdering you in the live chat.
Okay.
He says, Tony, is it someone that helped you pay for your daughter's wedding? Is that the reason you're going?
That helped me.
And then,
I'm sorry, it's someone that paid for my daughter's wedding. Didn't help me.
And then Coach Rosie says, Conrad, are you renewing your vows or something? Hey, buddy, let me just tell you in a loud and clear voice. I ain't never doing that.
Yeah.
I ain't never doing that. Never.
Cool. Coach Rosie, you may want to log off here and log back on to somebody else.
Hey, speaking of renewing vows, did you see that there was an announcement made on social media yesterday from the Nature Boy Ric Flair?
For crying out, would you stop?
What?
There's two things right there in that sentence that I don't pay attention to. Social media and the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Well, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, who's definitely still with AEW, he posted a statement,
brother.
and I feel like that we should share that with everybody. So I'll have Dave Silva get it together for us. But
God, why do we highlight idiots on social media?
What are you talking about?
Okay, why do First of all, Vince McMahon, and now Ric Flair. Anybody else we're going to highlight on social media?
Well, Big Daddy Mark. We're probably going to highlight him.
Yeah, okay. He's pretty cool.
Eric Jones is thinking a lot like me. He says, only thing I'll ever renew is my Patreon subscription.
There you go.
Yeah, we appreciate you renewing that.
Thank you, buddy.
This is an interesting episode of Monday Night Raw because we're still just standing around talking. We got Booker T in the ring. He's cracking up a little bit.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle is there with him. Edge is on the ramp. And we're just moments away from a big moment, Tony, because you're going to get to meet Triple H's dog. Are you excited to meet Triple H's dog?
Triple H's dog?
Yeah. His dog, Lucy.
Okay. They're going to bring a dog to the ring?
This entire show is about Triple H's dog.
They're going to bring a dog to the ring here?
Well, you'll see.
Okay. Because I don't know, man. Dogs and pyro, we talked about it earlier, right? Just don't mix. Ask Cody. Pharaoh. First AEW show, Dynamite, boom. Yeah. Shit to bed.
Yeah, they didn't think that one through all the way.
No.
But I get it. Hey, man, you live and learn.
Yep. Where's this crowd? Because this crowd's pretty freaking hot, man.
I think they're in Pittsburgh. No, it's Joe Louis Arena. Hey, there's the dog. Yeah. There's Lucy. Describe Lucy to everybody.
Oh, Lucy's a bulldog. Big old bulldog.
By the way, is this the hottest Steph ever looked or what? I realize I'm a gross dude, not supposed to be talking about women like that, but boy, she's an attractive woman right here. Goodness.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Yeah, you just see somebody so often, and then you go back because we've seen her so much in recent years. Still a very attractive lady, blah blah blah. But it's like the Tony Schiavone effect in reverse. Just so you guys know, if you're ever with Tony Schiavone at Cauliflower Alley, the Waterloo Hall of Fame, Legends Fan Fest in Charlotte, Starcast, anywhere where there's going to be a large gathering of former wrestling stars. The first thing Tony does when he shakes their hand is, what the fuck happened? You got old. You look like shit. He says this to everyone. It's like, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. And then as soon as that person leaves, he turns to me and says, now who the fuck was that? I don't recognize them at all. Did I work with them? I don't know who they are.
Well, that's pretty accurate.
And here's so once they get the niceties out of the way, the very next thing is, so Tony, about AEW, and Tony would just look at me like, motherfucker, again? I don't need to know what you thought. I know you did enhancement work for Crockett in '87, but we're not really here to talk about what you think should be happening on Seg 2 on Dynamite this week. What the fuck is wrong with you? Leave me alone. I didn't realize it was that bad until the third person in a row did it. And then we were just looking at each other like, again? Again?
It doesn't matter what you think about our show. I cannot get you a job. Stop it. Okay.
Do you think that's what most of it is? People are wanting gigs?
No, I don't think most of it. I think some of it is, yeah.
It just tickles me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Tony, good to see you, man. When was the last time we saw each other? Oh, man, it's been a long time. So anyway, Seg 4 on Dynamite last week. What the fuck, man? How about being a normal human for a few minutes? Look at this dog, man.
Yeah.
That's the way Silva's wife looks at him.
Yeah. This dog
making a face, talking shit to him. And that's Silva on top. Oh, my headphone fell out. Oh, I don't know why that was so funny. Okay. So now you got to see Lucy. Here comes Rikishi. He's going to back that ass up and probably complain about bloodline storylines on social. But in the meantime, speaking of social, I wanted you to have a minute here to share some breaking news from the Nature Boy.
Wendy and I joined 13 great years. As with every couple, we have experienced our ups and downs. I bet. I think it's important for everyone to know right now that we have decided to part ways respectfully. I'll never be able to thank her enough for standing by my side through my terrible health crisis in 2017. She never left my side, and for that, I will always be grateful. We both are working on different projects at the current time, and it becomes difficult with my schedule and her schedule to make this work. I wish her the best of luck with her projects, and I know that she supports mine. God bless Ric Flair.
I don't think he wrote God bless Ric Flair, but
I did. Yeah, I added that. Dogs don't give a shit, as you can tell.
I was just going to say, I feel like Scout and Kirby, they're
they got pissed off.
They're trying to battle it out and see who Rick wants to adopt.
Well, God bless his schedule.
Well,
God bless you, sir.
When I saw one of the posts on social,
yeah,
I love the way you're saying that as your Ric Flair voice.
Mm-hmm.
The first comment that I saw was from our friend Mary Kate, who does a bunch of photography through the years for Independence. And she says, "Oh, we are so back." And it showed the wait time for Space Mountain in Orlando. So there you go, boys and girls. It looks like Space Mountain is officially back up and open for business. How about that?
I don't think it's ever closed.
Really?
Yeah, through all these years. Do you think Space Mountain has ever closed?
Well, I remember back when JR was doing those one-man shows at House of Blues around the country.
Yeah.
One of his great stories he would tell would be a Ric Flair story. And he would always use the phrase, "Now, Rick's single, but his wife's married." Which I thought was tremendous.
So Rikishi is ripping on the bloodline angle?
No, he has comments every now and again, like, why is Jey Uso not the world champion?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, I get it. Everybody wants their kids to do well. And by the way, they have done. I mean, my goodness, I think the Usos have exceeded almost all expectations.
Yeah, they have.
What a great success story. I mean, you know, they've been a part of the WWE for more than 10 years now and been working on top now with Roman for several years.
Right.
How about Mr. Perfect, man? Mr. Perfect on Monday Night Raw in the 2000s. Who'd have thought? Yes.
Same type singlet, multicolored or two colors. And this can't be too far before he passed away, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Lumen is the world's first handheld metabolic coach. It's a device that measures your metabolism through your breath. And on the app, it will let you know if you're burning fat or carbs. And it even gives you tailored guidance to improve your nutrition, your workouts, your sleep, and even your stress management. All you got to do is breathe into your Lumen first thing in the morning, and you'll know what's going on with your metabolism, whether you're burning mostly fats or carbs. And then Lumen will give you a personalized nutrition plan for the day based on that day's measurements. You can also breathe into it before and after workouts and meals, so you know exactly what's going on in your body in real time. And Lumen will give you tips to keep you on top of your health game. As everybody listening to this knows now, my wife's on a big fitness journey. She's decided to start doing some competitions and things like that. She cannot believe that this technology exists, and she sort of painted the visual picture for me. We've all seen it before, like a treadmill in a doctor's office, and they've got the dude wearing the mask, and he's really getting after it. That whole process is doing what Lumen does, but now you can do it with an app on your phone and something at your own house. It really is that easy. And here's why your metabolic health matters. Your metabolism is really your body's engine. It's how your body turns the food you eat into the fuel that keeps you going. And because your metabolism is at the center of literally everything your body does, optimal metabolic health translates to a bunch of benefits, including easier weight management, improved energy levels, better fitness results, better sleep, just more mental clarity. Lumen gives you recommendations to improve your metabolic health with each breath. Lumen's recommendations are designed to improve your pre- and post-workout fueling for better performance and recovery, so you can power through your toughest workouts and add on muscle mass. My wife absolutely loves it. I think you will too. So if you're ready to take the next step in improving your health, go to lumen.me/WHW to get 15% off your Lumen. That's LUMEN.ME/WHW for 15% off your purchase. And we thank you, Lumen, for sponsoring today's episode.
So Tess gets the win over Rikishi, 1 minute and 57 seconds. Now we're going to get an update from Lucy. And I think you'll be glad to know that Lucy has done what dogs do. You ready for this?
Taking a shit?
Yep.
Okay, well.
Instead of Raw is War, this was nicknamed Raw is Dog Shit by the newsletters.
What was it really?
Yep. And look, there's Lucy getting there's Heather Silva fussing at Dave. Did you shit on the floor like at Conrad's again? We moved to Texas and you're still shitting on the floor. God damn you, Dave Silva. If you don't get in there and Photoshop that shit off the floor, you go Photoshop that turd right off the floor.
But look at that. Lucy wants to make up with he's telling Jericho he smells like mimosa.
Oh, God damn. How about Jericho? I don't know if you saw there, but he's sporting, this is right before WrestleMania here. He's sporting the big gold belt from WCW and the big eagle. I like that look. The undisputed champion with two big title belts, the WWF and the WCW belt. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think it's very cool. And, you know, again, you go back to the fact that he was the first double champion, right?
Yeah, he was the first undisputed champion because he had to go out and be, as you know. But, there's the shit right there. What do you think?
Well, you know, what they say about shit, it happens.
Oh, wow. It does.
Yeah. Take it with me, please.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, think about this is the way they're building the WrestleMania main event. Triple H's dog, shit.
Taking the shit. Yeah.
Yeah. And now we're going to get more fucking board of directors bullshit.
Oh, brother. Well, you know, can I say something here?
Please do.
They can get away with this shit.
Yeah, there's no competition. Nobody's changing the channels.
They can do whatever they want.
The one and only WrestleMania X8. Watch the live webcast. How about that? They're selling it. This is kind of interesting, Tony. Only available at WWF.com. This is what would become, we know, streaming, but video on demand back then was still in its infancy. And they already had the foresight to say, yes, you can buy it on pay-per-view. Yes, you can buy it on DirecTV and cable and all that. But you can also just go to WWF.com and give us $25. And we've got the stream for you. It's pretty cool. They were thinking that way 22 years ago. So now Triple H, who's going to be challenging Chris Jericho for the world title at WrestleMania, The angle includes a bulldog
Taking a
that
shit.
shits on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
They did Jericho wrong here, man. I mean,
Really?
do you remember as they were building Savage and Hogan for WrestleMania 5, one of them having a bunch of skits with the other one's dog shit?
No. Mm-mm.
I don't remember that. I don't remember there being a real hot issue between Andre and Hogan
Yeah. Oh,
about a bull mastiff taking a shit. Speaking of other things they fucked up, here's DDP. And there's Christian. He's trying to do positively Page here. Boy, just a misstep. I mean, of all the things WWE fumbled, I know they fumbled the entire invasion, but the idea they didn't do more with DDP should be fucking criminal. What a big star he was, and then nothing here, man.
Well, you know, on Conrad, you can go back in any. Sorry,
You laughing at Billy Gunn?
anything Billy Gunn does makes me laugh.
You should start. What if we wore those next week here on the show? Bandanas like that, headbands, if you will. And mine said Conrad, and yours said Tony.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll wear it.
All right, Silver, Photoshop us a sewing machine, and let's get that together.
We got, you know, in this house that I live in, we've got the top of the line that you can buy for your home sewing machine.
But it doesn't work, does it?
It doesn't operate because it was replaced by this.
A tablet? Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get right now. Okay, hang on a second. My cousin wants to text me. Dog shit. Yeah, but anyway, what I was saying is, as we go through angles and years of wrestling, there's been so many missteps, and we're talking about probably missteps that we feel that were wrong creatively, or missteps that just didn't draw numbers, or did they? Were they doing good business back then? Is my question. Looked like from the arena they were doing okay, even if they had to paper it. And isn't this Hogan and leading to Hogan and The Rock at WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was a pretty big pay-per-view, right?
Yes, sir. I mean, WrestleMania historically does pretty well on pay-per-view.
Of course it does. So what I'm saying is that even though that there are some things that are missteps, business overall, I mean, he's wiped out the competition. Business is pretty good. It's like, what the fuck?
What the fuck indeed. We see Ric Flair getting after The Undertaker. As the story goes, The Undertaker requested to work with Ric Flair at WrestleMania. What a cool opportunity that is in hindsight for both guys. There you see Flair knocking out a fan in the front row. That's good stuff. You never saw this version of Flair, did you?
Nope. And what version of Flair is this?
That's the version that was at a pizza shop in Florida earlier this year.
Okay, so he's kind of out of control. He's going to hit a fan here. Boom. Oh, good. Oh, Jesus Christ. See that one fan? Oh, going to arrest him. Mr. Flair turned around. Hey, he hit me. He hit me. He hit me. Oh, motherfucker. I hit him. Oh, shit.
By the way, I know I flipped out last week when we were watching an old episode, and I couldn't believe it. That was indeed Dan McDivitt who was arresting Stone Cold on Madison Square Garden way back in 1997. I got a text from him over the week that said, "Hey man, LOL, I heard the shout out. Yes, that was me." And I was like, how did that never come up that you arrested Stone Cold in Madison Square Garden? I guess it's not something you lead with, but it made me laugh. Man, all this footage of Vince in this episode has got me pretty fired up for the Netflix documentary. I'm sure I'll at least be talking about it next week here on the show, because we know Tony Schiavone, he ain't watching it. He's got to go to all these weddings from people that he won't even mention on the podcast.
Yeah, I got to go I got some personal business I got to tend to this weekend. So yeah, I ain't got it. So I got, I'm busy. I'm kind of a busy man this weekend. So yeah, I won't watch college football. I won't watch Vince McMahon's documentary, which, by the way, is it just like a 1-2 hour thing? This docu's not?
Six-part series.
Wow. And they're going to dump them all at once or every week? Or
All
whatever?
at once. I'm gonna binge it all. I'm gonna stay
Wow.
up late tonight. Hope it
Yeah.
comes out at
Right.
at midnight.
Is that
As
when it's
folks
going
are
to come out?
listening to this, as you're listening to this, I'm watching this.
Uh-huh.
And Eric Bischoff and I, we're going to break down each and every episode
Yeah.
over at 83weeks.com. So if you're listening to this and Tony's not going to watch it, but you are going to watch it,
Yeah.
well, check out 83weeks.com. Eric Bischoff and I will break it down.
Huh.
I've heard that actually, I just saw before we clicked record today a little clip from Dave Meltzer that said that he being Vince McMahon, pronouns pal,
Mm-hmm.
tried to last year buy the rights for this documentary. The idea being he hoped that he could write a check to buy the project and then shelve it. He was, according to Dave Meltzer, unsuccessful in that endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
So he asked Ari Emanuel to see if he could use his political power and connections. And of course, Vince offered to pay for it, but I guess Ari struck out too. So this is going to air on Netflix against Vince McMahon's will, which I find interesting because the statement you just read earlier said, I don't regret participating in it. But if he tried to buy the thing to shelve it, it sounds like maybe he regrets participating. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Well, then again, once again, it's social media, right? So there's a lot of bullshit out there on social media. So you can't always believe what they write on social media, can you?
You cannot. What you do got to believe is that our friend of the show, Big Daddy Mark, my man can sing. And since we're no longer doing Tony Reed's rap, which I'm still campaigning for, I'm not giving up on. I want it.
Give up on it, Conrad. Give up on it.
Big Daddy Mark is going to lift our spirits.
Sipping on some scissor, sipping on some 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 scared of flaunt some niggas, they want it. Some niggas join it, be a fucked up body. We're with the Mafia 6, and we ain't about that bullshit. If we gon' get high, we gon' get high, and we gon' house a bitch. 2 niggas at their mouth, 2 niggas on their mask. And plus that syrup having nigga dick hard all night. And she cool with that. She popped her pill of X and drank some orange juice. Just when you thought she was freaking and young and super loose. Niggas coming out breezing deuce. All the circles duck goose. Pronounce. Niggas sipping, dipping and tripping, man. I'm about to all up like sipping on some scissors. Sipping on some sipping on some scissors, sipping on some sipping on some scissors, sipping on some sipping on some scissors, sipping on some sip.
There you go. Just so you understand, Tony, that band he was covering there, they actually won an Oscar.
Did they really?
3-6 Mafia. Just did a concert this past weekend with our great close personal friend, Cassio Kidd. He had Project Pat with him. Of course, you read some of his songs before on Tony Reed's rap. I think you were a big fan of the line, and should have paid your light bill. You bought an outfit. Made you
That's good. Yeah.
Anyway, shout out to Big Daddy Mark. We are watching an interesting Monday Night Raw because, Tony, I don't know if you had a chance to put together what just happened.
Yeah, and I'm
But
glad.
Jericho,
I'm glad we didn't talk about it. I don't like that type of angle. Sorry.
what type of angle? Running errands in a limo or running over dogs?
Running over dogs.
Yeah. With a crying, yelping noise in the background. This is how we're trying to get heat. Now, of course, I want to give you a spoiler here, Tony. The dog is not dead. The dog has an injured leg. But they took the dog to a local medical facility. You can't say dog hospital or animal hospital.
You can't?
No. Vince wouldn't allow that.
He wouldn't allow you
There's
to
no
say
such thing
animal?
as hospitals. You can't say hospital. It's medical facility, pal.
Why can't you say it to a local veterinarian? Why couldn't you say that?
Well, you maybe could.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
You might could.
Yeah.
How great does Booker T look, man?
Oh man. Yep.
We got to spend a little bit of time talking about Dynamite tonight because boy, what a big show this is! Grand Slam. Arthur Ashe Stadium, as I understand it, was originally just an idea once upon a time, and it makes me wonder, with the benefit of hindsight, why had nobody ran wrestling before AEW there? I mean, I'm sure it's very expensive to run, so it's a costly venue, but what an iconic place. When you think about I mean, we talked last week about Madison Square Garden, and you consider it to be number one. Obviously, you've spent a couple of shows at Wembley, a ton of other great arenas, whether it was the Omni in Atlanta, Greensboro at the Coliseum. Like Arthur Ashe, is that going to make your list of historic venues that you're glad that you got to call wrestling in?
I think so. I think Arthur Ashe is going to go up there with the ones that you mentioned. And I think I'll be, if I'm still alive next year, I think I'll be very, very happy to have said that I've gone back to Australia to call a match at a venue there. I mean, I've done matches at the Rod Laver Center and in Melbourne, and I'll be really excited about going to the O2. So yeah, I've been fortunate to call matches at some of the great venues in the world. And in reality, a lot of times people will say, "Where was that match?" And I won't remember because to me, kind of arenas start looking the same. But there's some special arenas that you remember. And obviously Arthur Ashe is going to be one of them, and Wembley Stadium will be another one. And so I think United Center is another special one for us to be able to call wrestling matches in. And of course I've done Madison Square Garden. So, hey, I've been fortunate, right?
I think so. I mean, one thing I want to follow up on, though, you just said, if I'm alive next year, is there
Yep.
something you need to announce here on the show? Do we have breaking news?
We do not have breaking news, but I always say that because at my age, look at Big Show go flying through the air. At my age, you take it one day at a time, Conrad, one day at a time.
What a physical specimen Big Show was. Like when he just lifted Kurt Angle over his head, I mean, it looked like a cartoon.
Mm-hmm. He's
I think we kind of forget how larger than life he is.
yeah, we forget that when he was younger, how for a big man he could move.
Oh yeah, doing drop kicks, man.
Yeah, let's think about this. With the exception, there was Andre, and then after Andre, who was another big guy that came in? He was
Elegante.
Yeah. But this guy was kind of next, a guy who was a featured guy. So
Kurgan.
okay, I still think that who's
Big Bill.
Who's Kurgan?
Nobody you need to know.
Thank God. Okay.
Eric Jones is with us live, and he says, "This motherfucker used to smoke and do missile drop kicks." LOL.
Yeah, that's right.
People sleeping on Paul White. What an athlete he was.
Yeah, he
still
was.
is, I'm sure. My goodness. But just look at what we're seeing now. It looks make believe. Like this does not look like that should be real, and it is. There goes Adam Copeland jumping off shit again.
Oh, let's see if he can get up. Oh yeah.
Think about that too.
Yeah.
What's even higher than climbing to the top rope to jump to the floor? Let me jump off Paul White's shoulders like I was a kid jumping off their dad's shoulders into the pool, except I'm a grown ass 6'5" wrestler and I'm going to do it. What a cool visual, man! What a Hall of Fame crew this is.
Yeah,
this
man.
O2 crew is just next level. Booker T, Edge, Kurt Angle, and the Big Show in the same match.
Mm-hmm. And earlier we had Regal and the Dudleys, and the Hardys and DVD.
RVD even.
DVD.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Mm-hmm.
That damn Van Dam. I'm sure many people have said that when they forgot to get their hands up.
Remember the days when you were always ready to go? Well, now you can be again with BlueChew. They've got the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Take them anytime. You can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. And the process is super simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com. You consult with one of their licensed medical providers. And man, once you're approved, you'll get your prescription in a few days. That's it. And here's the best part. It's all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversation, no waiting in line at the pharmacy. BlueChew's tablets are made in the USA, prepared and shipped directly to your door, all in a discreet package. And BlueChew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. Chew it and do it. We've got a special deal for our listeners. Try BlueChew free when you use our promo code WHW at checkout. Just pay the $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com. The promo code is WHW and you receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we want to thank BlueChew for sponsoring today's podcast.
How'd you get that mouse over that eye? Oh, fucking DVD.
DVD.
Somebody hit you with a DVD? No,
It's a
Van Dam.
That'd be GDVD.
GDVD.
Oh.
Tony Flowers is with us, and he says, meeting Tony at Top Guy Weekend was the highlight for me. He was kind, humble, and engaging. It kind of killed his gimmick. Yeah, I mean, you come off as such a fucking asshole on social media and on this show, but then people meet you in real life, and they're like, man, he's just a really nice, sweet man.
Okay.
Why are you killing kayfabe like that? Why can't you just be a fuck in real life, too?
Why do you say I come across as asshole on social media? Because I don't.
Oh, no, we post as your account all the time and make you look like an asshole.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything you've ever seen that was negative or shitty that was posted on Tony Schiavone's social media was posted by Dave Silva.
Yeah. Doesn't surprise me. Because if anybody knows how to put together a shitty crew, it's us.
Are we talking about the Schiavone family, AEW, our podcast?
Our podcast crew. Oh, Lord. Fans go pop on this one. Man.
How about that, man? An angle slam on the Big Show.
That's pretty fucking amazing. And congratulations to Big Show for also helping him up, right? And there's the ankle lock. Is he going to tap? He fucking tapped.
That'll do it. Matthew Presley's with us live. Tony, Conrad, tomorrow is my birthday. Like always, I got to see my ad-free family in Chicago a couple of weeks ago. Always a fun early birthday present for me. You guys always make it awesome. Thank you. No, thanks, man. I appreciate you coming and hang out in Chicago with us. I know we're going to be getting together again for another Top Guy weekend. Doing a little fantasy camp in wrestling, Tony. So Dr. Tom Pritchard's going to be there teaching people how to run the ropes and lock up and various other things inside a wrestling ring. And then we're going to book a fantasy show. And then we're going to watch the Rumble. We're going to have panels. We're going to have live guests. It's going to be a good time. Make plans to join us at adfreeshows.com.
Fantasy camp, really?
Yeah, man. We did it last year and people liked it, but we did it in the summer and they complained, oh, it's too hot. I sweat too much during wrestling school. So
really?
I said, okay, we'll do it in January. So we're going to do it in January.
Well,
It won't be as hot in January.
Let's do it outside where it's like freezing cold. Let's do it in Winnipeg in January.
No, thanks. No, thanks.
I don't like this angle now. I'm not talking about Kurt. I'm talking.
No, we're talking about Stephanie.
Running over a dog. Don't like it. Do something else.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when you think about it, I'm sure at that moment, the real life Chris Jericho is wondering, can we just get like a vat of mimosas out here by the fucking ring? Because I got an idea.
Hi, guys.
By the way, it tickled me a few weeks ago when he posted on social when they had the Bentley Continental GT convertible. He's like, I just bought this $100,000 car, and I'm thinking, buddy, that's a $300,000 car. But
right.
Okay.
Yeah, you are right.
We got.
Look at that. Oh,
We should go ahead.
what do they? Oh, this is where this is where the show is, right? No, it's
No,
over in
no.
Marshall.
This is Times Square. They had a WWF The World was the name of the restaurant,
Yeah.
and they would bring out folks. And right here, you see Miss Jackie's out there, and Lord have mercy. Think about what I mean. Lord bless Tori Wilson for getting her money, and I'm all for it. But
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying, when you really think about what we're watching, how would you try to explain this to Terry Runnels or to Tori Wilson? Hey, here's what we need you guys to do. We're going to have you fly up to New York, and you're going to be there while we're doing Monday Night Raw at Joe Louis Arena. Okay, so what are we going to do? Are we like going to host wraparounds and all that? No, we're going to do a cutaway from the live show. We're going to have a bunch of horny guys out there hopped up on $2 Jello shooters and fried mozzarella sticks, and we're going to have you come out in thong bikinis. And then what do we do? Just shake it around a little bit, and then we're done. So these ladies had to go get on a plane, make sure they packed their bikinis, come out and strut their stuff, and then go home. Like, what?
The world we lived in.
Right.
The world we lived in.
Well, I mean, I know they were there to try to promote the Diva special, but it's just like, hey, would you like to see more girls in thong bikinis? Then here's a preview of what's on the Diva special.
Do you think they could get away with that now?
No, shit, no, they'd never do that.
Yeah.
But they'd also never do this Chuck and Billy angle. You know, the Chuck and Billy angle here, I think, is loosely based on the old Saturday Night Live skit, The Ambiguously Gay Duo. Do you remember that?
Sure do. Yeah.
I think it's loosely based on that, where they're trying to hint that they might be homosexual, but not actually say it. I know WCW had done something similar with Lenny and Lodi or whatever, but it just feels like, hey, what are we doing? Who gives a fuck? Why is this a thing?
Yeah. Well, again, as I'm not trying to defend anybody on any angle, but I can tell you this: you just try different stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Because I mean, you got to think of some things. And the boss tells you, "Hey, I need some angles," and it's called spitballing, and see what you can do.
No, I guess I just mean like on some level, and I guess we're all growing up and getting better and learning as we do more. But like the storyline here is, hey, they might be gay. So the big mystery will be, what if they are? And now in 2024, I'm like, yeah, who gives a fuck if they're gay? Like,
Right.
what if? Like,
Right.
what does that matter? Like, nobody cares.
Yeah, it's again the difference in time. We're talking, dude. We're talking 22 years ago.
Yeah, but what's interesting is, you know, just to draw the parallels, Billy Gunn's a part of this. Of course, he's not fresh, but most recently enjoyed a lot of success in this era of his career with the New Age Outlaws. Now he's having success. He's tag team champions here with Chuck. And, you know, are they or aren't they gay? And now these days in 2024, he's with the Acclaimed. Oh, so's me dad. It's a full circle deal for Billy Gunn.
Yeah. Which is good. I'm just getting to know Billy Gunn. I'm still happy he's so relevant and such a big part of what we do in AEW, because he is one cool son of a bitch, and so are his kids. His kids are just talented kids, man. They really are. I just think they learned quite well from Daddy, and of course from QT and the school, and they learned a lot.
Oh, Tony, I forgot to tell you, QT Marshall is going to be running a show in about a month in Huntsville at the shop on South Parkway. It's going to be an outdoor show. I think it's going to be like a lawn party type deal, like bring your own lawn chair type deal.
Wow.
But a little QT Marshall action, a little independent wrestling. I think QT does a great job with Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling. That's Dusty Rhodes' old promotion. And as I understand it, Teal, Cody's sister, is sort of the Jack Tunney of that outfit. But we don't get QT running. I think this might be the first time he's ran in Alabama, but I'm pretty excited to go, man. Huntsville, October 27th, behind the shop on South Memorial Parkway. I'm sure I'll tweet something out on social, but I'm excited to be there, man.
That's pretty cool. fans who were very unkind to QT when he wrestled in the ring have no idea how much he knows about wrestling and how good he is about what he does. He's one of the best, man. He absolutely is one of the best.
And a real advocate for the next
Yep.
generation of professionals.
Yep.
Oh, look at that. Christian just turned on DDP. That's not very positively paged.
No, it's not. It's not.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I found out you can never trust that damn Christian Cage.
That's exactly right, Schiavone.
But I like the patriarchy though. I think it's
How could you not? I think Christian,
some of
he's doing his best work ever right now.
Right. It really is. I mean, he's kind of like Jericho in that throughout time he was able to reinvent himself, right?
Yes.
And so I'm really, really excited about that. I hope Copeland gets back soon and can do some more work with us, and because I loved having them both with us. Really, when you think about the Hall of Fame tag team that they were, but this is a pretty cool angle.
What, you like this going back to the headquarters?
No, turning on DDP.
Yeah, I like the turn on DDP.
Yeah, going back. Let's go back to the board meeting held in Stamford, Connecticut. All right, we got this Netflix special coming out. And here's what I plan to do.
Uh-oh.
See the man down at the other end of the table? We're going to blame him for everything. We're going to say that it was him who put on a wig to look like me. All right, you got it? And it's going to be his actions, not my actions. The action of the nature boy, Ric Flair, and not of Vince McMahon. Why? Well, because of everything I've been accused of, he's probably been accused of too. We get it? So it's not going to be Mr. McMahon. It's going to be Mr. Flair. That's my idea. Any other ideas? Anybody? Just spitballing here. Anybody got an angle? Jesus Christ, guys, we ran over a dog on this show. We ran over a dog on this show. And now I've got Ric Flair on the other end who's done all these unspeakable acts, and they're blaming me. It's you, Flair. It's you. It's not me. And it better. You see the woman in front of me, Linda? Linda, pretend you're not here. Okay. It's Mr. Flair. We're going to rename the Netflix show. How much is it going to cost? Huh? How much is it going to cost? Rick, how much money do you have? Never mind. I tell you what we're going to do. Rick, you don't have to put any money into this because I know. Anyway, it's going to be called Mr. Flair. We goddamn killed a dog on this show. Okay? Killed a dog. Okay? Killed a fucking dog. And people ask me, so we're going to take him to the hospital? No. You can't take a dog to the hospital. That's for humans. Okay? The next time we kill a dog on this show, someone better let me know. Now, who's going to be in charge of putting the wig on Flair? Anybody? Linda? Nope. How about you, fat ass in the front row? No? Okay. No. I'm not going to do that. Okay. Do us a favor, Rick. Don't talk. Well, I'd like to say a few words about this. Don't talk, please, Linda. I forgot. I just want to say that Flair's hair used to look like mine looks like right now. If you notice, it was blonde, right? That's right. We could blame this on Linda. Let's go back to the ring.
What a terrible angle. What a terrible story. Raw is dog shit indeed. Tony Flowers is with us here live, part of our live studio audience. You can be a part as well at patreon.com/WHW Monday. And Tony says, did you ever go to the WCW Nitro Grill at Excalibur in Vegas? Tony, did you ever go to the Nitro Grill?
Never did. No.
Why not?
I don't know why not.
Put some thought into it and let me know.
Hey, let me put this thought into it. Okay. I didn't know there was a fucking Nitro Grill.
Yes, you did.
Oh, God, I can't remember that at all.
I'm going to have Dave Silver right fast. Go ahead and find some pictures of the menu.
Okay.
Because
hang
there
on.
were some. Go ahead.
How long did the Nitro Grill last? Like a week?
I think when WCW went under, they shut it down.
Wow.
Flair says they ran off with some of his ropes.
Of course he says that.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Huh?
What does that mean?
Well, Rick doesn't know his
Are you
name right now.
suggesting that Ric Flair didn't tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
So help him God.
So you're saying I want to make sure I'm getting it right for fucksheet.com, 411 fucksheet. Are you suggesting that Ric Flair occasionally might not tell the truth?
I've heard that could be the case. I'm not accusing him of not telling the truth, but I heard yes, I heard that's not the case at times.
411fucksheet.com is going to run the headline.
No, it's not.
Tony Schiavone says Ric Flair's a liar.
No, I'm not. No.
That's what you said.
And Colin and his son-in-law agrees.
No.
Yeah, put that on the 411 fuck sheet headline. Okay.
I got a call from a mutual friend of ours this past Saturday.
Ooh, okay.
They tried to swear me to secrecy.
Okay.
And said, "Hey, I didn't call you. Okay. You promised to say I didn't call you? Wait, what? Nobody told you this. Okay. Rick's upset." And I said, "Well, he wakes up every day and decides he's going to be mad at somebody new. I guess today's my day. I don't know."
Okay.
And then he laughed and said, "Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. No big deal."
Shut up. Stacy Keebler's arrived.
And here's Jazz. This is a Raw match that actually happened. It's Jazz teaming with Stacy Keibler to take on Lita and Trish Stratus. They go 2 minutes and 27 seconds.
2:27.
Yep. But Christian and Billy went 2 minutes and 8 seconds.
Yeah, so it's
Angle, Booker, Show, and Edge went 4:37.
Mm-hmm.
Al Snow and Goldust went 1 minute and 1.
Mm-hmm.
Test and Rikishi went 1 minute and 57 seconds.
Mm.
In the tag match that got us started, RVD, the Hardys, Dudleys, and Regal, 3 minutes and 52 seconds. So everything is 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, and again, if you have no competition, you can get away with stuff like that. Oh, jeez. Damn, Trish Stratus went down in a hurry, didn't she? Yeah,
I mean, some of these bumps that she's taken are just crazy.
Yeah.
Like when that big back body drop, like you don't see. Why don't you think we see more big back body drops like that?
People would rather jump over the top rope and do a tornado or a suicida.
Oh, and that deadly Tijuana hematoma.
I got a story about Tijuana hematoma.
I can't wait to hear it.
Okay. So we were in a break during recently during Rampage. And Action Andretti got thrown up against the steel steps. Okay. Now keep in mind this is Rampage, so we can edit stuff out, right?
Yes.
And we do. All right. And I said, "Oh, he got thrown up against the the steps there, Excalibur." And that was a Tijuana hematoma. And he paused and he turned, he looks at me really slowly. He said, "That was a what?" I said, "A Tijuana hematoma." And he said, "Well, that's part of this we're going to edit the shit out of."
Can you find that clip and us post it?
Probably not. It's probably been destroyed. Well,
That would have
maybe
been
not.
hilarious.
Let me try to look for it.
If we could play that on next week's program here,
Yeah.
that'd be full circle moment for us. That'd be great.
So I thought I could sneak it in because, we say silly shit during the
Of course you
during
do.
the commercial breaks. I thought I could sneak it in there, but I wasn't able to.
When it comes to the Nitro Grill, Josh Inney says it opened in '99. Tony Flowers says it closed in the fall of 2000.
A year.
And so Airborne 37th, who's with us live here, says that means Tony never came inside Excalibur, which is good to know.
Yep.
We got some menu items here from the old Nitro Grill.
Oh.
The Crippler Crossface cheesesteak.
Okay.
It's served with horseman sauce. I don't.
No. Thank you. Next item.
I love you. Just go no. Let's see some other menu items.
Okay.
The Face Buster fajita sandwich, chicken or steak with grilled peppers and onions, melted Monterey Jack cheese, pico de gallo, avocado, and salsa dressing. Havoc chicken sandwich.
Yep.
The submission sandwich. The Super Brawl steak sandwich. How about the smothered chicken? Nelson's famous ribs. Now, that's a half Nelson or a full Nelson for a half rack or a full rack, you see.
Okay. I thought that would do a Nelson Royal or Nelson Swegler. I wasn't
How about figure 4 fajitas?
Okay.
And then there's the bodybuilder. This is the big boy's favorite. 3 grilled chicken breasts and 2 baked potatoes. 2 baked potatoes.
Not bad.
Backbreaker beer battered shrimp. Superplex salmon fillet. How about the Booker T-bone? The Spring Stampede sirloin. The flying fillet. The big sexy porterhouse. The broken rib black eye. The chocolate power bomb. The cheesecake uncensored. The heavyweight hot fudge sundae.
I have a chocolate power bomb just about every night. Go ahead.
I think you've had one of these, a meltdown mud pie. The big boy brownie.
I've had a lot of meltdown mud pies backstage.
My goodness. It's no wonder this shit did not last, by the way.
Yeah, you're right.
No wonder.
Yeah.
By the way, Stephanie is in the ring now, and she's apologizing to Triple H about the dog. And Triple H is going to have none of it. So he's chasing her because he wants to beat the shit out of his wife here.
Of course. We've killed a dog. That's right. Jeez.
Let's do some spousal abuse. Get your ass in here. I'm going to pedigree your ass in front of an audience.
Oh, no. No. This is not cool.
Oh, man.
This is not cool at all. Hell, we still got 25 minutes or so left in the show.
By the way, there is going to be an actual match still left to come. But what we've got before the match is this bullshit.
Yikes.
More board of directors. And then the main event, which is the NWO, Hogan, Hall, and Nash against Rock and Austin.
Yeah, that was the selling point of this thing, right? The whole feature. This. Oh. Yikes. Oh. No.
And so, by the way, let's recap how silly some of this thinking is.
Okay.
Triple H was about to abuse his wife in the middle of the ring and give her a pedigree.
Yeah.
And Chris Jericho stopped it. And he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Because the babyface wanted to beat his wife. And this heel stopped the babyface from beating his own wife. And boy, that's not cool. That's foul. What are we doing?
Obviously, he had writers during this time, right?
Yeah. They
Okay.
did.
Wow. Let's see the sign in the front. Vince McMahon is a genius.
So what I'm going to recommend is that you take it from us and check out theamazingkind.com. That's where you'll find plant-based palm relief balms. Start that again. Plant-based pain relief balms, creams and gels for your muscles and joints. It's good for what ails you. And you don't have to be a professional wrestler like Sting. You could just be regular ass Lois. Lois uses the Amazing Kind. So does Bruce Pritchard. So does my wife, Megan. And we want you to try it right now. TheAmazingKind.com. You'll get 20% off all of your orders when you use our promo code WRESTLE. And I'm telling you, your body is going to thank you. Now, what you'll find at TheAmazingKind.com is they've got infused oils for mood support and sleep, and they really work. But my favorite thing that they do is a little pain relief. And this guy knows pain. He used to be a producer and editor over at the WWE, working on their commercials and marketing. And now he's trying to help people. You see, these products are made from all natural sun-grown hemp and then infused with nutrient-dense MCT oil if you're using those infused oils. But the balms, the topicals, the creams, the gels, man, it's good for your muscles. It's good for your joints. It's good if you're trying to do it after you work out to help recover from, all that you've put your muscles through. Or maybe you've just got some sore muscles, some stiff joints, some backaches, maybe a little arthritis after a long day. TheAmazingKind.com can help. I really want you to try these topicals. They've really worked in my household. I know they're going to work in yours, but they have something for everybody. While you're at TheAmazingKind.com, if you think, hey, you know what? A little more sleep would be good, they can help. Check it out. TheAmazingKind.com. They can hook you up for CBD, CBG, and CBN. And they've got everything you need at TheAmazingKind.com. Use our promo code WRESTLE. You'll get 20% off all of your orders at TheAmazingKind.com. Be sure to use our promo code WRESTLE.
Yep.
By the way, just so you know, Josh Henney wants everybody to know, if you're ever wondering what happened to the Nitro Grill, it is now, that space is now occupied by Dick's Last Resort.
Have you ever been to Dick's Last Resort?
I have not.
Okay. I understand that's a place where the servers abuse you. Talk shit to you.
Really?
Yeah. At one time, in Chicago, there's a place called Ed DeBevick's. You go back to one of the old NWA Pro Chicago's. Zabisco and I did a little skit from Ed DeBevick's where the waitresses act like your mom and come by and just browbeat you all the time, eat your food or whatever. But I heard that Dick's Last Resort is a place where the servers just give you shit, and it's like a very entertaining thing. So,
yeah. I remember standing in line to get a cheesesteak in Philadelphia, and I got cursed out and name called. I think it was part of the gimmick. I don't think they just thought I was special, but that was fun.
Yeah.
Bad Money Slim says we need a chocolate power bomb shirt now, please. Eric Jones is pointing out the flaws in this Triple H babyface. He says, I mean, he fucked a corpse. Beating his wife is tame. My God.
That's pretty heavy. Yeah.
When you really think about it, man, we're killing dogs and banging corpses. There's been some pretty bad things in wrestling. But boy, they get after you like killing a dog, nobody talks about. I mean, they had Boss Man feed Al Snow his own dog.
Yeah.
But they still say, can you believe Tony Schiavone suggested that David Arquette should win the big gold belt? He fucking ruined wrestling. I mean, it's a joke. How can we take that seriously? So anyway, Boss Man's cooking Al Snow's dog. What?
I know.
So Big Show's dad died, and Boss Man is going to drag the casket through the graveyard in a Ghostbusters car.
Right.
And then we're going to have Big Show hold on to the back of the casket and just surf the casket through the graveyard.
Yeah.
Anyway, David Arquette winning the belt was the saddest day in the history of professional. What?
Yeah, it's like it's tribalism.
Yeah, it's silly.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's like people really think that, and I guess if you think about the Monday Night Wars, we enabled that to happen, but people really think that you can either be on one team or the other. In other words, like, okay, you're a Packers fan. Well, you can't be a Bears fan. You're right. But you can be a WWE fan and an AEW fan. And back then you could have been a WCW fan and a WWF fan. You could have. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with enjoying pro wrestling? No, you got to take up your sides. Wait,
Hey,
the girl behind.
I can't believe this is real, but stupid ass Dave Silva says he has actually been to a Dick's Last Resort. He told us in our private chat here, I've been, and it's brutal if you're a fat guy. Dave, jump on with us. What was your experience like at Dick's Last Resort?
Oh, it was just a joy. Getting to the table. Oh, here he comes.
Mm-hmm.
Get ready.
Yeah.
Oh, can I get you all anything? What do you want, fat ass? And then when the food came, I remember handing everything out, tossing mine, and go, well, is that enough? And then, you did good.
Yeah.
You finished it all. I know you got room for dessert, fat ass. It's a real joy.
When he says, anything else I can get you, fat ass? Yeah. Could you put your dick right here or something like that? Were you able to snap back to him?
Oh, no, because you know me. I just laugh through everything.
Oh, yeah,
and then I cry in the dark.
We're very well aware. Hey, by the way, that's real. Like, Silva's a secret crier. I can't tell you, back when he lived in Alabama, if I'd go back near his area, I mean, you could hear the weeping through the door sometimes.
Weeping through the door.
Weeping. Tony,
Thanks, Dave.
Dick's Last Resort sounds a little bit like just eating dinner with you.
You mean, the trash talking that goes on in my house?
No, just the way you talk to people, like
Okay.
like when we saw you at in Chicago for Top Go weekend, you go, God damn, I thought Cassio was on some sort of health kick, but he's just hung out here with that big old belly. Like, has he seen a salad? Does he know what lettuce is?
Oh.
I mean, these are Schiavone-isms, and it's like that's kind of like hanging out at Dick's Last Resort.
Yeah, but Cassio knows better than this. He knows he's still got another 50 pounds he could gain, so why doesn't he do it?
Airborne 37th is with us here live, and he too went to Dick's Last Resort. And I want you to go ahead and read what his experience was like here, Tony. Here it is.
Went to Dick's Last Resort. They made a giant paper condom, wrote "cum dump" on it, and put it on a lady's head. That's. Are they still in business?
Josh Henney is with us here live, and he has a nice idea. We're finally hearing from Ric Flair as he's approaching Vince McMahon at the other end of the conference room. And Josh says, Ric Flair Space Mountain is now Dick's Last Resort.
Please tell me what this angle is. Have you already told me and it went kind of in one ear and out the other?
So the idea was Ric Flair had been revealed to be at the end of 2001, right at the end of the Invasion angle, that there was a mysterious benefactor, and the consortium had appointed a new president or a new power broker for WWE. So Vince McMahon has only had control of 50% of the company, and Ric Flair's had control of the other 50%. And they're at an impasse here, and Vince wants him gone. He wants Rick out of this, and he doesn't feel like he should be wrestling The Undertaker at WrestleMania or punching fans or. So it's just a political power play with the board of directors, and it's all a little silly. And how weird does this look? The NWO on Monday Night Raw. Like when you see the NWO and you see the little bug in the corner that's got the scratch logo, and there's Hogan, Hall, and Nash in the black and white. I know we're trying to channel 1996 and 1997, and I get that. But just the idea that this is happening on WWE TV still feels weird, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of mind-blowing in a way. And Vince we're talking about 2002, so we're talking about March. We're talking about a year later, right?
Yeah.
1
They've
year.
been out a bit.
Right.
This is 1 year after WCW went down.
Right. So Vince is still feeling very good about himself. I mean, he's still on a high. So putting the NWO out here, putting Ric Flair out here is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal on many levels.
It's a big deal, too, because we're going to have this match coming up They just crashed a commercial. We're back. And it's Hogan, Hall, and Nash taking on The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Out first is The Rock, getting a huge reaction. Meltzer would say, would have been considered real bad if any other 5 guys were in there. Crowd was major into Hogan, but surprisingly little buzz for the first Hogan-Austin lockup. Hogan did a crotch chop. I guess he missed the Costa show and didn't realize they don't do that sort of thing in the WWF anymore. Very sloppy in spots, but not hideous. Crowd was very into Nash, partially because it was Detroit. Nash laid out Rock, and then Hogan hit the high foot and a leg drop for the 1-2-3 in the middle. Big face pop for the pinfall. So we get, I guess, a tease of what we're going to see at WrestleMania. Fans in the WWF, they want to cheer Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, of course. And we have watched Hogan and Rock from WrestleMania, and there was a lot of Hulk Hogan fans there popping for Hulk Hogan.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, right. Because it's what you grew up with, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, baby.
Here he comes, Stone Cold Steve Austin, coming out second. Look at the website underneath, stonecold.com. I guess they were trying microsites for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of discussion in the newsletters at the time about how disappointing the NWO return has been to the office. I guess they thought it would be some sort of a magic bullet for houses or ratings. None of that is really happening in this era. I know they felt like, hey, we can do the invasion angle and we'll get a pop. And we did. But after July, boy, it just petered out pretty quickly. So then they think, okay, in February, we'll bring back the NWO. We'll inject the poison to kill the WWF. That's what Vince says he's trying to do. And we had the No Way Out pay-per-view, NWO. That's where we debut them. It does okay, but I think people expected on television, boy, these ratings are going to be through the roof. But the reality is what made the NWO so cool was they kind of ran roughshod over WCW. They were positioned as the cool heels who were taking over. And I don't know that the WWF really ever totally submitted to that idea.
Yeah.
But I do like some of the things they did, like going to a black and white shot here for their entrance. That's pretty fun. I like that.
I like it too. And I just love everything the NWO did, of course, during our era. And this is kind of the first I've seen of an NWO and a WWF. But I think fans love the war. And
Yeah,
the war was over. And so the fans just kind of said, let's move on to something else. They loved that. And it was, you felt like as a fan, you were a part of it, right? Parties, and watching one and switching over to the other. And so I was a part of it. As you can see, if you're watching on video, WWE is Scout and Kirby is WCW, getting just face blasted right now. Okay, they're going at it.
Your dogs ever get a little too rowdy?
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody gets hurt, they play rough, and somebody gets hurt?
Yeah.
Who's the offender there?
It's always Scout. Scout's the aggressor.
I got you.
Yeah.
So Kirby takes L's every day at your house, and he's going to take an L in Tuscaloosa this Saturday night. That's crazy.
Yeah, isn't this something?
Yeah.
Also, Chewy, who's the old man in our house, as you can see, they're playing on the floor here. Who's the old man in our house? He's always been kind of a pissed off guy, and he used to attack when Kirby or Scout would get near his food. Chewy would attack, but they got into a fight about a month ago, and Scout beat the shit out of him. So, because she's now grown and she doesn't put up with it anymore, and so he doesn't do that anymore. Hate dog fights. Hate them. Try to break them up. You get bit. But it happens. So this is after Stone Cold turned. No, he hasn't turned heel yet, has he?
He turned heel at the prior WrestleMania, but that didn't work out because Triple H wound up tearing his knee. And Triple H is back, of course. He came back in January, so he's now on the collision course for the world title. Stone Cold is not happy with his position. He's going to wind up walking out of the company not too terribly long after this. it does feel like creatively we're not firing on all cylinders. To be clear, merch is flying off the shelves because they've got the Austin 316 shirt still.
Right.
They've got the NWO stuff now.
Right.
Shows are selling out, but the ratings are down, and no one can really figure out why at the time. But to me, it's because, well, the WWF had really positioned WCW to be sort of second tier. I mean, that's been established at this point now.
Right.
Because we've seen what we've seen with the invasion angle. So the NWO coming in now feels a day late and a dollar short, so to speak.
Right.
Because we already know, hey, well, this is the quote unquote superior brand, and they're not booking it all that differently.
Right.
So instead of there being like Rock is going to be working with Hogan, we know that.
Right.
And Austin winds up working with Scott Hall. And they don't do anything with Kevin Nash at WrestleMania. My understanding is he was sort of the backup plan if, for whatever reason, Scott was not able to perform against Stone Cold.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, Austin goes over, but it does feel like he's sort of lost in the shuffle. So I think Austin felt a little disrespected at the time based on the success that he enjoyed at WrestleMania 14 on. You know, he thought he'd be figured in a big way. So just wrestling somewhere in the middle of the card against Scott Hall maybe isn't exactly what he wanted, but I think a lot of people are curious, you know, why did we never get Hogan Austin? I know that we went Hogan Rock and it was epic. It was legendary. It's a lot of wrestlers' favorite match just because of the crowd participation.
Mm-hmm.
But why don't you think we ever saw Austin Hogan on a big stage, a SummerSlam, a WrestleMania, a Royal Rumble, that sort of thing?
Could it be that neither one wanted to do it, or neither one could come to terms about doing it? A lot of times that, you know, that comes into play.
Do you think, I mean, if there was a discussion in 2002 as to who would win, that to me seems a little silly. Like it should definitely be Austin, right?
Well, there should never be a discussion about who wins and who loses. Never.
Yeah.
Here's your winner. Every other week you get a paycheck. You don't even have to go to your mailbox to get it. That's the signal. That's winning or losing. So it should never be about who wins and who loses. But what about my creative? Where are we going to go from here? Next Friday, you'll get a paycheck and you've signed a big contract, so you're still going to get paid. Oh, and by the way, we can even send you home and you won't work for a month. And guess what? You'll still get paid. Jesus Christ. I just don't get it. I think it's a long standing thing in wrestling. I think it's been throughout the years. It's called wrestler paranoia.
Yeah.
It's the feeling that if you lose, then you're going to lose your spot.
That's stupid.
It's stupid. It is absolutely stupid. Especially if you are one of these guys who, guess what? The salad days of your career behind you, you're older now. Just enjoy life, enjoy going out there and getting the pop. And, you know, to me, as a fan, it's not winning or losing. It's having a good match. It's just having an entertaining match. Like, for instance, wait a minute, there's 1, 2. Sorry, if I would have talked over a 1, 2, 3, Excalibur would have nudged me. That's not true. Anyway, like, for instance, Will Ospreay and Pac, tremendous match, right?
Yeah.
Will Ospreay goes over. Do you think it hurt Pac at all? Hell no. He looked great. He looked absolutely great. It's just ingrained in wrestling. It is from back in the old promoter days of payoffs. And of course, yeah, you had to be on top to get the big payoffs. So you worried about wins and losses. But in this day and age, you don't, but it's still there. It's still prevalent. I don't get it. I don't get it. But, you know, I'm sure it's that way in entertainment as well. All forms of entertainment. There are egos and just Scott Hall's going to get the tag in here. Did you notice the tag when Hogan got in, the pop from the fans?
People are ready for Hogan, man. I mean, the NWO return, I guess the NWO debut in WWE really just wound up being a platform to launch Hogan. I don't think with the benefit of hindsight, you know, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash enjoyed near the same success, but I don't think that's their fault. I do feel like there was some sort of an anti-WCW bias amongst management at the time and creatively at the time, because it does feel like, how do you have Kevin Nash here and he's not even on the fucking card for WrestleMania? Like,
Yeah, right.
what? But, it is what it is. I mean, that WrestleMania, you talk about the way people talk about WrestleMania 17, they hold it in such high regard, like it's one of the best WrestleManias of all time. And I can't really argue with the success of the show. But then you follow it up with X8, and it's like people talk about Hogan and Rock, but nobody talks about the main event with Triple H and Chris Jericho, or really almost any other match on the show besides the Arn run-in and the Flair Undertaker match. So to see what happened between 01, when the company had been building storylines and matches and angles with competition, as bad as it may have been, WCW on the other channel, versus when they're left to their own devices and you're the only game in town, WrestleMania in 03 or 02 here was just not nearly as fun.
Yeah.
Who would have thought, too, all these years later, as we take a look at what's happening in the ring, that The Rock would be on the board of WWE, a major stockholder for WWE, and everybody else is really not doing anything with the company.
Is that something?
I don't know that I would have guessed that.
That just goes to show what you can do if you really think your career through. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but The Rock. Well, obviously, The Rock became, the top action star in all of Hollywood, so that made a difference. So, in reality, Rock made more money than all these guys, didn't he? Even Hogan. So he knew what to do with his money. Look at the fans, man. Oh. And Nash spoiled it. Boo. I like it. I remember talking to Jericho about this, saying it didn't matter what they did in their match with Triple H. He knew that he knew what the main event was.
Yeah. I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was looking up the card. I guess The Rock and Hogan was the 10th match on the card, and then Jazz and Trish Stratus. How come I can't say that? And then Triple H and Jericho ended up the night. So
talk about the death spot. You got to follow Hogan Rock.
Oh.
And before the main event, I mean, that is the popcorn match that they gave a lot of the women in that era. There it is, the big leg drop, 2, 3, and look at the crowd. Man, I just can't believe we never got to see a pay-per-view with Austin and Hogan. We see Kevin Nash making the save there. I do want to ask you before we wrap this one up, did you see this Logan Paul, Kevin Nash controversy from a couple weeks ago?
No. Is it something that started online?
Logan Paul had Hulk Hogan on his podcast, the Impulsive podcast, and Hogan starts using the words work and shoot. And Logan was like, what? Logan did not know what those words mean. And when Kevin Nash was asked about that on his podcast, he said something along the lines of, he's not making towns. He's not riding in the car with these guys. It's not like he's hanging out in the building. Everybody's in their own bus. So when's he going to learn the vernacular? He's not one of the boys. Just because you're around them doesn't make you one of the boys. And he started going off about how much he was making. And basically, F you, F you, F you. Logan Paul was pretty upset about it, found himself doing a hike in the woods shirtless, and decided, I'm going to respond and say, I don't even know who Kevin Nash is, but I guess I'm better at your job than you ever were, because I don't even know who you are. And that created a big controversy and a big back and forth. But, I mean, I can't wait to hear your take on that. A guy who supposedly is making millions of dollars a year in WWE doesn't know what the words work and shoot are. Is that a big deal, or who gives a shit, Tony?
Maybe he's working us. Maybe he really does know. See, I don't believe anything anybody says online. Sorry.
What about you? Don't believe what they say in real life either.
No, I don't. I'm very skeptical of everybody.
Are you a conspiracy theorist?
No, well, I'm married a big time conspiracy theorist person, so I guess I'm pulled into it. I don't know.
Well, you know what you need to do about that?
What?
Get off Facebook. Because Tony, right now, it looks like it's about that time.
And let's go to the boardroom where Dave Silva is in the corner crying. And Vince McMahon walks over to Dave and says, "Get up off your ass, fat ass, and watch my documentary. It's going to be great. It's going to be Ric Flair in a wig. All right, got it? We're desperately out of time. See you next week on What Happened When. We come to you each and every Wednesday on Cumulus Westwood One, but Mondays we come to you on Bill Simmons and
Patreon.com/WHW Monday. And of course, adfreeshows.com.
Have I told you what I'm helping people with in my real life? Yeah, I'm helping them save money over at savewithconrad.com. If you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Go get yourself a quick quote. Interest rates have improved, and people are realizing, hey, now's a chance to save some cash. And I'm talking to you, if you're still on the fence about buying a house, we can get you out of that apartment, tell your landlord to kiss your grits, and get you into a brand new house. You can do that with 5% down, with 3.5% down. And yes, there are still no money down options available in 2024. SaveWithConrad.com is your first step. We're going to ask you, hey, where are you now and where would you like to be? And we're going to get you on a path to fit those short-term goals, but really meet the long-term goal that we all want. And that's to appreciate the American dream. The American dream isn't to give 29% of your gross monthly income every month until you die to some banker. No, you want to own that thing for real. Your own piece of land for you and your family, your legacy. And we want to help you get one for yourself at savewithconrad.com. You don't need perfect credit. You don't need money out of your pocket. And maybe you've already got a house, but it'd be nice if you could pay a little less. We're routinely finding a way to help our podcast listeners combine all of their debt, and I mean all of it. Credit cards, personal loans, even car payments. Get it into one low monthly payment. Not only is it a better interest rate, it's also a greater tax deduction, but maybe most importantly, a much cheaper payment. We're routinely helping our podcast listeners save $500, $600, $700, even $800 a month. But how much can you save? Find out right now at savewithconrad.com.
You guys, the housing market's really good right now, too, for you folks out there that are thinking of making a change in your overhead or your living conditions. Now's not a bad time to make that move. Nowhere better to do it than savewithconrad.com. He's going to save you money. He's going to be honest. And it's like dealing with a friend, an educated friend. And boy, there's a lot of uneducated and unfriendly people in that world. Conrad Thompson is not one of them.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, Jim. Check out our reviews online. You're going to see we've got more than 1,000 5-star reviews. Customer service is what it's all about. We want to be your mortgage advisor for life. So there's no application fee. There's no credit report fee. We just want to talk, man. Hey, tell us where you are and tell us where you want to be, and we'll try to help you get a plan to get there. We want to be your advocate, your humble advocate at savewithconrad.com.
Attaboy, Connie. Look at those cheeks, ladies. Look at those cheeks, ladies and gentlemen. My God.
How could you say no to that, right?
NMLS number 2129, Equal Housing Lender.
SaveWithConrad.com.